Hey guys, welcome back. It's me, Trish, again from Trish B Healing. So today I'm going to talk about something, a buzzword that we've been hearing a lot about, or you probably will hear a lot about if you haven't yet. So right now you're probably hearing a lot of shadow work or shadow season. So if you've ever wondered what shadow season or shadow work is, we're going to talk about that today. So shadow work essentially and shadow season is essentially when you would go within yourself and look at the shadowy parts of your psyche or your being. So it's pretty much the dark side. If you've ever seen the yin yang sign, it's the it's the yin part of the sign, which is the feminine, or the black part. So the black we often think of as like dark to light, the bad to good, the shadow to light, that kind of stuff. But it's just the parts of yourself that you kind of keep hidden from the world that when you really reflect on them, it's stuff that you need to personally work on. And the only way to do that is to actually go within. So you'll hear a lot of quotes like going within, working within, and that just means that you contemplate your psyche. Like you just go and you think about those parts of yourself that maybe you don't want other people to see, or that you don't share with other people, or that need working. Like trauma is one of them. A lot of people during the shadow season will work on trauma that's been bothering them. In what's some examples? Like inner child trauma or ancestral trauma. So they're all different versions of working in shadow work. There's some tools that you can use with shadow work. One of them is crystals. So I have a few crystals that I personally like to use during shadow season. Another thing with shadow season is a lot of people will kind of turn inward during shadow season. So it's, like I said, it's a time to look inside yourself to heal. And it's not really a time that a lot of people put their energy out there. They more kind of suck it in. Me during shadow season is when I kind of bloom. So all of my energy comes out during shadow season. It's weird. But during like blooming, like the spring essentially is another, like fall equinox is kind of when you go in, and then the spring equinox is when you come out. I'm kind of the opposite. So I kind of go in during the spring and I come out during the fall. So this is really my time to bloom and kind of share my gifts, because that's kind of when they come alive. So like I was saying, crystals are one way that I work with during shadow season, or a tool that I work with during shadow season. And another thing is you can also work or have tarot readings done during shadow season. You can have them done anytime, but I'm going to show you, in my opinion, a few of the tarot cards that represent the shadow in a tarot deck. And then some like interesting tidbits that I found when I was looking for this. So a few of the stones, if you're looking to work with crystals, that really help during shadow season are anything for the root or earth star chakra, because it's grounding. You probably hear grounding a lot too. So those crystals are going to be anything that are really, really dark red in color, or like black, or anything like a petrified wood, because it connects you and grounds you to the earth. So one that I really just got that I'm like loving right now is this golden sheen obsidian. This guy is beautiful. Here's a regular obsidian, which is also used, which I use a lot of. I have a lot of obsidian. So these two specifically, anything dark colored in the crystal world, this is a shungite. A lot of people don't use shungite, I don't think, for shadow work, but I actually do, because I think it works really well for purity, and it really symbolizes the feminine yin. But obsidian or anything dark colored, and then this is a symbol for the root chakra. This is red jasper. So anything dark is going to help clear negative thoughts or energies. So this stuff's really good for clearing that darkness out and kind of helping you clean out your aura. Black obsidian is really good for cleansing the aura, like if there's anything negative hanging around, but it really helps with absorbing all of that and kind of taking it away. Golden Sheen kind of has the gold in there, and like I said, I just got it, so I'm not quite familiar with it, but it's a little bit less intense. Black tourmaline is to me, it's a really intense stone. Black obsidian can also be an intense stone. So if these are a little bit too intense for you, you can always look up shadow work crystals, and it'll kind of help you. But the darker, the better for shadow work, in my opinion, to really clear that negative energy. If you're like afraid of it, it'll really help you kind of ground and stabilize your feelings about it. So moving along, not taking too long, another one that I really love to use is called the Golden Healer. These are kind of universal. Again, not much work done in shadow season because it is yellow and it resonates more with the solar plexus. Here's the little symbol. This is a yellow aventurine. But the Golden Healer is like a really good companion stone to the obsidian or anything really dark, because it's a gentle healer. It's going to gently like help you understand and help you accept. It also works with the crown and, like I said, the solar plexus chakra. But I love the Golden. I sleep with this one under my pillow every day, so I love it. Another gentle companion stone to use is rose quartz. This is a compassion stone, and it's for like deep love. So this is another really good one to use in conjunction with this guy, the Black obsidian. And this one's for your heart chakra. So I have a green example of heart chakra. That's green aventurine, but during shadow season, I don't really use green too much. I just really stay with the pinks. Two other options that I really, really like too, that I work with, are rhodonite. And this one looks like a tree. I love it. And then rhodochrosite I just got into too. So these two are also good companions. One, these will help balance out the yin and the yang energy. So they're going to help balance the dark and light. So if you're using something, and this one also has, the rhodonite has black in it. So I think rhodonite's great. It's great for self-love because of the pink, which resonates with the heart chakra again, like the rose quartz. And then it works really well as companion stones because you're kind of balancing out the energy, right? And then last but not least, you can engage your third eye. Some people do or do not during shadow season, especially if you're kind of new. It might be a little much, but this will help with your intuition. So this one is blue aventurine. I don't use that one too much, but that's a symbol for the third eye. And then these are lapis. So lapis is my stone of choice for third eye work. I actually use this one specifically in my crystal healing, but here's just examples of what they look like. So lapis helps with, it's a really strong stone. It's called the wisdom stone, but it was really popular in Egyptian culture. But it'll help with opening your third eye and your intuitive pings. So those things I was talking about in my video yesterday, it helps with your intuitive pings. So that can help open up your mind to being opened and receiving these shadow topics that maybe you need to work on. And then moving right along, it's gonna be a longish video, but a couple cards of the tarot. So if you ever have your tarot read, or during shadow season, if you are drawn to these cards, or these cards come up for you, or anything like that. So in my opinion, shadow cards of the tarot are the following. The Tower card represents an aspect of our shadow. I think that sometimes we don't want to deal with, because it's the crumble, it's like the disintegration of something within us that needs to change. And it's sudden. It's not slow moving. It's a sudden energy. So a sudden burst of change that some people don't want to do. This is representative of the Devil card. In the regular tarot, mine are a little bit different, but the Devil card can symbolize, I want to say negative energies, but they can symbolize energies that can can somewhat be disruptive within us. It can mean different things depending on which cards it's around, but it's another card that kind of symbolizes our shadow. And a lot of people think of the devil as negative or evil. So, you know, it goes right along with that. The third one is the death card, in my opinion. So death is technically like the dying of something and the rebirth, kind of stuff that needs to like go away in order to come back. So if you get the death card, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just stuff that people don't want to let go of. And then the Hanged Man is another one. So the Hanged Man is stagnant energy. So again, all three of these cards are change. And four. All four of these cards represent change in some form or way. And in my opinion, that represents the shadow side of ourselves that we don't want to face. The suit, in my opinion, in the tarot that represents the shadow side to me is the Suit of Swords. See how they all kind of, it's like emotions. So it's like within, I love this one. But so the swords in the tarot can kind of represent like the emotional side, the psychic side, the side that goes inward, the side that, you know, the world doesn't see, but we see. So that's just a few examples of what shadow means to me, what I've come to understand shadow work or shadow season as. If you guys have any more questions or you want to dive into it a little bit more, this would be a great example of something that we can talk about in the get to know you section of my site. So again, trishbhealing.square.site. And yeah, that's all until tomorrow, and hope to see you guys. Love and light.